Why does a situationship with no labels, no commitment, nothing feels deeper than a relationship that you've had before? It's not because it's special, it's because of a little brutal mechanism that we're going to talk about. When you are in a situationship, the intensity is real, but the depth is not. A situationship is as consuming as a real relationship, and it just activates your body the same way as a regular relationship. But because you put it yourself as something light, something low value, like no labels, no commitment, nothing, you think that it's lighter than a relationship, but it's not. When you think about it, your situationship is actually a relationship. And if you look at the definition of a relationship, it's just two humans, two person, like interacting with each other. So yes, your situationship is a relationship. So that's maybe not, you're maybe not a couple, it's maybe not a love relationship like with a status as is, but that's a relationship. And you get everything that goes with a relationship. The difference between your situationship and a regular relationship is that, as I said, the situationship will be more intense in a sense that you're doing the same thing as a regular relationship. So you meet with the person, you talk with them, you go on date, you have sex, everything. But the difference is that in a relationship, it's clear what you are and you can talk about things. So if you're like a little bit stressed, if something is a little bit wrong, you can talk about it. I'm not saying that it's easy all the time in a regular relationship, but you can do it because you know where you stand. In a situationship, you don't. And in most of the cases, and you will be a liar if you say otherwise, there is always something that's a little bit off, either with one of the person in the situationship or because one of you like expected something more or expected something less. Or for example, like small things, you want to see the other person, they cannot because they're busy, that's fine. You want to see them again, they cannot because they're busy again, that's fine. Then you start to think, okay, am I the problem? Maybe they don't want to see me again. Maybe I'm asking too much because, well, that's a situationship. We're not supposed to be accountable or like anything, so that's okay. But then you start to think, and this is just one example, there is like a lot of things inside a situationship like that happen, like the small details that kind of like does not happen in a relationship. And of course they're different in a regular relationship. I'm not saying that a regular relationship is perfect and you don't have to think, you're not overthinking. That's not what I'm saying. Of course you're doing it, but because you have a status, you know where you stand, you know what you are in general, it makes it easier. And there is some things that you're not asking yourself, like just asking yourself what we are. This kind of thing, you're not doing it in a regular relationship, you're doing it in a situationship. And there is a lot of other things. So my point is that in a situationship, there is a lot of things that comes that does not come in a regular relationship. So if you think that if you go in a situationship, it will be more chill and easier, you're wrong. The one thing to remember is that if a situationship feels deeper and more intense than any relationship, regular relationship you've had before, that's not a sign it's special. It just activates you the same way a regular relationship will without the regular relationship. So your nervous system is working on the same level as you will. So your nervous system is working on the same level as it will if it was a regular relationship, but again, it's not. So the next time you are in a situationship, ask yourself those questions. Is it easier than a regular relationship? Why we don't want to put labels, why I would like to make it easier, and especially where we're going with this, because if you think about it, most of those situationship does not necessarily end well. Like it's either you end up actually in a regular relationship, or then you just end up not talking with the person. If that was your friend before, it kind of like either become awkward when you stop, or actually like there's something wrong happening. So what's the point? What's the goal? So ask yourself those questions. I'm not saying situationships are bad. I'm just saying be aware of what you're actually starting when you go into them. If this video was somehow helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I see you soon for another video, and until then, take care and drink your water.